The YF-23 Black Widow II, Japan's next generation of stealth fighters. There is a possibility that the Black Widow and the Raptor will face off against each other in a second competition 30 years later. Want to know more? Hey guys, welcome to our channel Military Planes, where we tell you about warplanes, from the currently famous in the air to the most advanced around the world. So stay with us till the end of the video so you don't miss out on any of this information. But before we proceed, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and click on the bell symbol so that you don't miss out on any of our wonderful videos in the future. And let's get started. To assist in the creation of an F-3 air-superiority-oriented stealth fighter for its air self-defense force, Japan has been looking for foreign partners to collaborate with. The proposal made by Lockheed Martin to combine the F-22 Raptor, which is currently the most advanced air combat platform in the world, with the F-35 Lightning II, which is a more recent aircraft, is the idea that has garnered the most attention from the general public. Many people believe that the Northrop YF-23 Black Widow II would have been able to outperform even the Raptor, but some commentators believe that the F-3 program could see a resurrection of sorts for this former competitor of the F-22. The Advanced Tactical Fighter Competition was initiated by the Pentagon in 1981. The objective of the competition was to find a stealth fighter of the next generation that was not only low observable on the radar, but also had the ability to outperform new Soviet fighters such as the Su-27 Flanker and the MiG-29 Fulcrum. This was a significant improvement given that the only stealth aircraft that had been developed up until this point, the F-117 Nighthawk, was unable to engage in air-to-air combat or travel at speeds greater than Mach 1. The Air Force also wanted the ATF to be capable of supercruise and sustained supersonic flight without the use of fuel-guzzling afterburners. This presented a challenge given that the jet engine fan blades frequently proved to be a vulnerability when attempting to reduce radar cross-section. In 1986, the companies Lockheed Martin and Northrop were selected as the two finalists for the ATF program. Following this decision, the two companies were given the instruction to create prototypes of their respective designs, which they would then use to compete against one another in 1990. Both Lockheed and Northrop had gained some experience in the design of stealth aircraft by that point, with Lockheed having produced the F-117 and Northrop having participated in the subsequent development of the B-2 stealth bomber. In addition, McDonnell Douglas was brought on by Northrop as a subcontractor. The YF-23, also known as the Black Widow II, was truly otherworldly in appearance. It had diamond-shaped wings to reduce radar observability and a very thin side profile that was reminiscent of the SR-71 Blackbird spy plane. Lockheed's YF-22 had striking looks, but the YF-23 was truly otherworldly. The aircraft had two enormous rear tail fins that were carried far outwards at an angle of 50 degrees above the wing. These fins were rotated by a fly-by-wire system to induce yaw, roll, and pitch. Two prototypes were constructed by Northrop. The dark gray PAV-1 Spider, initially it even had a Black Widow's trademark red hourglass on its belly, which made its maiden voyage in June 1990, and the light gray PAV-2 Grey Ghost, which took to the skies in October of that same year. While the former used the same Pratt & Whitney F-119 turbofan as the Raptor, the latter used a General Electric YF-120 variable cycle engine that could switch between turbojet and turbofan modes for improved low-speed and high-speed performance respectively. Both engines were manufactured by Pratt & Whitney. The engine inlets were outfitted with S-ducts to reduce the radar cross-section, and the heat signature was brought down by routing the exhaust down trenches lined with heat-absorbing tiles. Over the course of 65 flight hours, the YF-23 prototypes were put through their paces. Both had receptacles for refueling in flight, as well as a weapon bay that could hold 4 AIM-120 long-range missiles. Both also had similar specifications. Additionally, the production aircraft would have been equipped with a single 20mm Vulcan cannon and a bay that could carry 2 additional Sidewinders missiles with a short range. Both the YF-22 and YF-23 prototypes lacked crucial avionics systems like radars at the time of their construction. However, the YF-23 lacked one essential feature that the Raptor possessed, and that was heavier vector thrust engines that could rotate horizontally. These engines helped the Raptor perform precise maneuvers while traveling at low speeds. Because of this, people came to believe that the Raptor was the plane that could perform better in tight spaces. Despite the fact that the YF-23 was capable of attaining angles of attack 60 or 70 degrees above the vector of the plane, Even when it did not have vector thrust propulsion, it appears that only 25-degree maneuvers were performed in front of Air Force testers. In reality, the YF-23 was not a slouch when it came to maneuverability. In point of fact, it has been reported that the YF-23 scored higher than the Raptor in the majority of categories, demonstrating higher sustained supersonic supercruise capabilities as well as longer range. In addition to this, it had an even lower radar cross-section than before, especially when viewed from the side and the back, which further decreased the range at which it could be detected. The Lockheed Martin team is said to have simply done a better job of showcasing the YF-22's agility to an evaluation team that was primarily composed of fighter pilots who were schooled in traditional dogfighting, according to some sources that are familiar with the competition. Another possibility is that the YF-23 was thought to be riskier and more expensive than the Raptor, which would already prove to be exceptionally expensive at a cost of between $137 and $150 million per plane. According to reports, the YF-22 had a higher level of polish than its predecessor, the F-22, and the Pentagon may have had doubts about Northrop's ability to manage projects after the company's B-2 stealth bomber experienced significant production delays and skyrocketing costs. Some people even believe that the contract was given to Lockheed in order to save the company from going under. Ironically, if the Air Force had to choose between improved maneuverability or extended range and increased stealth, it would almost certainly go with the latter option. This is due to the fact that some theorists believe that future air wars may be fought primarily beyond visual range, which would make detection capability the most important factor rather than agility. In point of fact, the Air Force's project for a stealth fighter of the 6th generation, known as penetrating counter-air, places a greater emphasis on long range than maneuverability, and the design that Lockheed has proposed for this project bears an uncanny resemblance to the YF-23. After Northrop's failure to win the competition, the company's YF-23 technology did not, of course, simply vanish. Over a decade and a half later, Northrop attempted to market a modified version of the YF-23 as a potential medium-range stealth bomber. However, the U.S. Air Force ultimately decided to purchase Northrop's long-range B-21 instead in 2016. The PAV-1 can be viewed in its current state at the U.S. Air Force Museum in Dayton, Ohio, while the PAV-2 can be seen at the Western Museum of Flight in California. Northrop Grumman reportedly provided an enthusiastic response to inquiries made by Tokyo in 2018 to potential partners in its F-3 stealth fighter program. Although Northrop could try to bring the YF-23 back to life, it is more likely that the company will offer distinctive features of the aircraft's airframe and engine design. These features could then be combined with new or existing Japanese technologies. This is due to the fact that many aspects of Northrop's design from the 1980s would need to be updated, in particular the antiquated radar-absorbent material coatings, which continue to be extremely pricey on the F-22 in comparison to the modular panels on the more recent F-35 and the avionics, which were never really developed into a mature system. In spite of this, the Japanese self-defense force might find it easier to start with the framework of an airframe that already exists and has been put through its paces, and then build upon and improve upon that foundation. Because of this, it's possible that the Black Widow and Raptor will face off against each other in a rematch nearly 30 years from now. And that's it for today, guys. We sincerely hope you enjoyed the video. If so, please click on the like button and share it with your friends and family. If you have any questions or comments, please share them with us in the comments space below. Also, don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel to see even more of our incredible videos. You can also check out our other videos that have been specially selected for you. We'll catch up in the next video.